Just as movie trailers have to capture the interest of a prospective moviegoer in the first few minutes, a movie poster has to do the same thing at first glance. Taking an entire film and trying to convey that narrative with a single visual image is no easy feat, but when it's done right, a movie can be immortalized by an iconic poster. Illustration and design are necessary skills when developing a visually appealing movie poster, but in order to produce a useful poster design, a familiarity with advertising and marketing strategy is also important. For example, according to a common advertising strategy known as AIDA, a movie poster must capture attention, garner interest, elicit desire, and demand action from audiences, all in a single frame, in order to convince them to take one single action: buy a ticket to the movie. Movie posters throughout the decades have taken different visual approaches and used various design tools to achieve this same goal. Until the design shift in the 1980s, illustrators were heavily relied upon to produce lots of movie posters. Even in the digitally led design world of today, those posters are still a primary source of influence. Some designs rely on a series of visual images to establish the film's plot. This is referred to as collage style, and it can be particularly effective at conveying a lot of information. An excellent example of collage style is 1943's Casablanca. Without even seeing the movie, we can guess that Humphrey Bogart is the protagonist, since he's featured so prominently in the middle of the poster. Following his line of vision brings focus to Ingrid Bergman, who's positioned behind Bogart but relatively the same size, indicating that she's a key character. Given the time period, probably his love interest. After establishing the main characters, your eye is drawn to the background characters, which have this sort of ominous presence that leads you to believe that maybe they're a source of conflict for our heroes. Typography can also be seen as a conscious design choice to establish this movie's tone. The style of type, along with the choice of red text against the black and white illustration, a dramatic and bold contrast, gives you a clue that this will be a dramatic film noir story. Contrary to collage style, a single image narration, done right, can provide the same amount of insight into a movie's plot while maintaining a simple, clean image. Widely considered to be one of the best movie posters of the last 2 decades, the Silence of the Lambs poster perfectly exemplifies single image narration design. If a close-up of a pale Jodie Foster with red eyes isn't enough to convey a sense of terror and death, check out what's covering her mouth. The infamous Salvador Dali photograph, Envoluptus Mors, superimposed on the Acherontia atropo, or the death's head hawk moth. It evokes a particular sense of unease, but it also acts as a symbolic storyboard for the movie itself. If you want to get even more minimal, some movie posters get away with a single logo. This kind of design can be seen in movie posters for larger franchises, such as Jurassic Park, or Batman, or Ghostbusters. Nowadays, these logos that began as focal points for their respective movie posters are so strong and well known that just seeing the logo tells you what you can expect from these movies, or their remakes, or their reboots, or their prequels, you get the point. Imagery aside, typography is also a key design aspect of movie posters. From the text devised for Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo that's meant to create a sense of fear and unbalance, to the letter J in the movie poster for Jaws that looks like a fishing hook, typography can fill in the emotional gaps that the image itself can't cover. That said, typography isn't really as experimental today as it once was. So many modern movie posters have adopted Trajan for their titles that it's become known as the movie font. Commissioned artists typically have access to a copy of the script and concept images meant to aid in their creative process and help them generate a powerful image representative of the film. Yet that wasn't the case when Drew Struzan, one of the most prolific movie poster artists in history, was called to produce poster art for the 1982 remake of The Thing. With the studio unable to provide him with much direction and short on time, Struzan had to conceptualize the project completely from scratch. Armed only with a vague idea of what he wanted, he dressed up in a snowsuit and had his wife take a Polaroid. From that picture, he began to work on sketches to send to the studio for review. Once he had their approval, Struzan only had a matter of hours before a studio exec showed up at his doorstep to pick up the finished project. Struzan also helped to create the tapestry of Star Wars movie posters. He joined the franchise to create the poster for Revenge of the Jedi, or at least that's what he thought. According to Struzan's official website, George Lucas actually changed the title from Return of the Jedi to Revenge of the Jedi, but changed it back when he decided that revenge wasn't really a Jedi thing. But the last-minute change meant that thousands of Struzan's posters still ended up being distributed to theaters. A small number still exists today. Even with artists like Struzan contributing over the years, Star Wars movie poster art has remained fairly consistent. Each poster is a collage featuring key characters and uses color and contrast to convey the film's main conflict, the battle between the light side and the dark side. Still, we do see a noteworthy evolution of Star Wars posters as they shifted from illustration into modern-day graphic design, a shift that has, for better or worse, occurred throughout poster design and dominates the industry today. In response, and inspired by poster designers and illustrators such as Struzan, Richard Amsel, Saul Bass, and others, a new wave of artists has sprung up who distinguish themselves by creating alternative movie poster art. They're creating their own take on classic movie posters that experiment with different styles and imagery, all in the hopes of encapsulating the movie in that single glance. If you're interested in learning more about movie posters and designing one of your own, you may want to check out this free class on Skillshare taught by acclaimed graphic designer Ellen Lupton and presented in partnership with Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum. Short lessons delve into the history of design to give you the knowledge you need to create a strong movie poster and unlock the secrets of powerful visual design. Students of her class have already created great alternative movie poster designs and refined their skills for all kinds of other graphic design projects like postcards, advertisements, and more. Whatever your interest, we've got a wide range of classes on Skillshare, from design to business management, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. You can start for free by clicking here. If you'd just like to watch more videos though, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to know when we post more. Thanks for watching!